And welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to I Got My Miracle. I'm so grateful to be here with you and to be here with Mario. Yeah. We had a pretty amazing week this week. And, I was talking to Mario earlier, and the arc of his transformation and the arc of his miracle this week is I came feeling lost, disconnected, um, and not scared, but he said disconnected and felt like, well, if I got to do it on my own, that's the way it is. And at the end of the week, I said, what are you feeling now? And he said, oneness with God, a sense of unity, a sense of merging, a sense of being connected, a sense of belonging is what I'm picking up from that.
Yeah.
And that's the trajectory of the miracle. So we already told you what's going on. And I know you want to stick around to find out how we got there. So thank you for joining us. Each week at Rythmia, we select one person to sort of represent the field of miracles that occurred. So many miracles occurred this week, right?
God. Incredible.
Incredible.
And I'm still seeing them bits by bits, nature. Just with the way I feel for myself, my feelings I have toward others when I see them and see them smile, I see them cry. Those are the miracles that my heart tells me are true. And I didn't know how to see them.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to recognize them. And I recognize them, and I bless each and every one of them. And every one has been putting a smile on my face every time I take a step. It's been a wonderful journey. Thank you so much for this program. It's been incredible.
Man, I'm so grateful. I've been here 9 years, and to get to be a part of this is so cool. But when you said I didn't see them before, but they were there, right? But you just didn't see them. Yeah. It reminds me of the biblical, I think it was Isaiah that said, I shall do a new thing. I'll make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert if ye have but eyes to see. It's like our seeings. Sometimes we get clouded and we see askew. And so it sounds to me like you had like vision correction. Like you got some new glasses. Tell me about that. Tell me about what shifted, how you came here, what called you here, what brought you here.
I am studying an Inca medicine wheel right now, back where I am. And the study of that, it comes back to learning about ancestry. I've always had a thirst for ancestry. What did my ancestors go through? What were the issues? What were the problems? What were the curses that still continue on? That, from what I've learned, how can I help to break those curses so they don't continue on to my children, my grandchildren, and so forth?
And when you say curses, these are ancestral what? They're ancestral traumas?
Traumas, secrets.
Okay.
Whatever the case is, I'm just learning about them, but they've given explanations to how family history has happened up to this particular point and in the past.
And not just your family, but you said your father was from Bolivia.
My father's from Guatemala.
From Guatemala, your mother's from
Bolivia. Yes.
And so the Bolivian, you talked about the Incas, right? Tradition there, the ancient Inca Empire. I believe Bolivia was part of that, right?
Bolivia, Peru, all of that area. Yes.
Yeah. So, by the way, I've been to Peru many times and have worked very closely with dear friends and family that are from the Quero and Quechua traditions in the Sacred Valley. And so the Andean culture and Andean tradition is really alive.
Yes.
For me, I respect it very much. I've learned so much. So I'm so excited to hear that's your lineage and that you're investigating it.
Yes.
So you saw these, you felt this call to understand your ancestry. And is that what brought you here, or what brought you to Rythmia?
That's what brought me to Rythmia. And like I mentioned before, I'm doing the Inca medicine wheel training, and it's part of the 4 seasons of the 4 directions. And we start off with the south with the serpent shedding the skin. And then we're now studying the west with the jaguar. We live in jaguar country right now. And that is with the mind. And the next step we'll be studying is the north, which is the hummingbird, which is the soul, and then to the west, which is the eagle, which is the spirit. So as I learned this, I am now studying through the west of Jaguar, and I read about having to die. You have to die in order to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, ayahuasca came up in regards to that study. I had two other callings to it, which didn't happen. So I took that as a sign it wasn't meant to happen at the time. When this came up, I was recommended by the Rythmia program through a wonderful friend. And she said, if you're going to experience that, that is the place to go.
Mm.
So
You thank your friend.
yes. Oh, I'm going to say it. Bernie, thank you so much. Bernie, love you.
Yeah.
And so
is this our Bernie?
Yes.
Oh my God! Hi, Bernie.
I wasn't sure whether I could say whether she worked there before.
Yeah,
but
she
yes,
did. I
yes,
love Bernie.
Yes.
Oh wow! Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that was meant to be.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
the signs were there. So my intention was to do the ayahuasca, and I guess at a point telling myself, let it do what it meant to do for me. I didn't know that by coming here, the true intentions were going to be so surmountably larger. And so my first intention was to learn about my ancestry, and hopefully I can get through some of that and give forgiveness.
So you're studying the medicine wheel. You're in the Jaguar. The teaching is you have to die to live.
Yes.
Which is an ego death, right?
Yes.
The death of the smaller self, so that you can be your true self, right? The I am, the soul.
Yes.
And so ayahuasca comes up. You get this referral to come to Rythmia, and you show up. You come,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just I just have to acknowledge you. You guys don't know, but he didn't even know what he was coming for. I asked one of my colleagues, said, "Oh, Mario would be great for the interview. Would you ask him?" Because I wasn't here this morning, and she did ask him, but she didn't tell him what he was coming for.
No,
she said, "John Jacob wants to see you."
John Jacob wants to see me at 1:45, and I'm like, "Wait, when's my massage?" I can work. I can do it.
So he didn't know that I'm going to do a live stream. He just said yes. And then when I told him, I said, "Oh, you don't know?" He goes, "It doesn't matter what it is. I'm yes." And that's such
my
a
heart said
beautiful.
Yes. My heart said
You're such
yes.
a beautiful being.
So.
Thank you, brother. That's so awesome. So you said yes to Rythmia.
Yes.
And you came, and there was this feeling you had shared of being lost or disconnected.
Oh God, that the lost or disconnection part sort of stems to my final vision. And if I just want to just share the little bit of the journey.
Of
Okay,
course,
I came with my ancestry issues to deal with that. And the first two sessions with Mama Aya was just incredible. It's just incredible. I forgave so much and heard so much. They were all there. Whether I recognized them or not, I know they were there. The signs were the visions. My first two nights were just complete visions, and it's just wonderful. I'm blessed that I could have these visions to see that.
And you were with your ancestors.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Even when practicing little meditation beforehand, I just already had a sense of blessing of having to be seeing these visions, and I try to write them down to see what they mean to me eventually later on. These visions that I was having here I wanted to see my ancestors, and I gave forgiveness. They forgave back as well. This is I wasn't here to place forgiveness from blame, but I wanted it to be a two-way street.
The Aini.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big tradition of the Incas, is the Aini, the reciprocity.
I felt my first rebirth at the first session. And not realizing what it was at the time until after, when I started journaling about it. Then I realized, okay, that was the rebirth. But I still had questions because I saw visions of what I'm to be. And I asked Todd that question. I didn't know what that meant. And Todd told me, "Well, did you ask Mama why?" I go,
yeah.
That would have been a simple thing to do. Yeah. What are you trying to show me?
Right.
And so I asked the second night. She showed me.
What did she tell you? What was the vision?
Why I love is music. I want to be a musician. My wife and we have plans. We're moving to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We want to open a wellness center. I want to play music. I want to do sound baths. My wife's an esthetician. We just want to.
And Mario was sharing with me earlier that he's retiring from being. You have a construction engineering.
Construction management engineering. Been doing that for the last 35 years. I'm retiring at the end of March next year. And the plan has been to move to Puerto Vallarta and to start a new journey.
Beautiful.
Not to look at retirement as the end of a chapter. It is, but it's more of a start of a new
beginning of a new chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Following what's in your heart.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And I'm going to share this because I realized that I didn't think I was going to share this about me, but I learned and saw how it helped others by sharing. I was a victim of sexual abuse when I was young. And it wasn't until the third ceremony, the female ceremony, that my ancestors helped me with that. My female ancestors helped me with that. It was a calling, and my love, my tia Olvi, the oldest sister of all my aunts, she pretty much raised me as a child. We lived in a duplex, and they lived upstairs, and my parents must live downstairs. While my parents were working, we would come home from school, and we would always spend time with my tia Olvi, my aunt Olvi, and she was my surrogate mom. She raised me, and I always laughed. I remember just the laughter of being with her. I would get her angry,
right?
Yeah, and she would be mom, and the chocolate would come out, and all that. But I loved her. I loved her to death, and her spirit came to me that night, and what it was a healing from the feminine side that I learned for me. That opened up to it. Yeah. And it was, I'm free. I am free.
Free from the story of the abuse.
Free of the curse of the abuse. I forgave the one who abused me. Mm-hmm. I forgave, but I cursed the curse that was left for me from that. Mm-hmm. And it felt as if liberated from getting out of prison. That freedom of
the
walking out the
bonds
cell.
of unforgiveness are broken. That's the thing, when we talk about forgiving, like we talk about forgiving the unforgivable, right? A perpetrator of sexual abuse on a child, that's unforgivable. And the forgiveness isn't condoning or understanding or accepting their actions, but really what you're pointing to is that forgiveness is, I'm no longer letting that have its hook in me. Yeah. I'm disentangling myself from that. It happened. I'm not denying it, but I'm free from the curse, free from the, would imagine intense, what we hear a lot. We hear a lot about childhood sexual trauma here. People are healing a lot of that. And it's typically the anger, the sense of you could have done something, you should have, it was your fault in some way, You know what? I learned a long time it wasn't my fault. Okay. I knew that. Okay. I was 6 years old. I knew that. Okay. But what I hated it for what it made me become. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the person that I wanted to be. It made me be objective to women, to all the women in my life, except for my mom. My mom, I trust with my heart and soul. But that feeling really affected a lot of relationships in my life with women. Yeah. And I wanted to get rid of that darkness from that. And I did. And I'm so overwhelmed by it. Mm-hmm. I'm so overwhelmed by it. You said oneness with God. Okay. And I'm wondering, is that Did you feel like the curse of the abuse, as you're calling it, who it had made you become,
Mm-hmm.
was that keeping you separate from God?
I didn't realize until the fourth night. I took in the fourth night with the intention was just let Mother Ayahuasca just do whatever she wants with me. What I realized in the first session of the first cup, I found forgiveness from my first wife, Eva, that I had divorced.
Mm.
And then she had passed away from a brain aneurysm a year and a half later. But that was my children's mom. And I'm still working with that with my youngest daughter. She forgave me in just the gentlest way. In the gentlest way, the way she was,
Eva.
Eva.
Mm.
She forgave me. It was a purging, and those if you don't understand the purging, you will when you come here. Okay. But out of all of the purges that I had from the previous ones, this was the most gentlest. And I said, thank you for being gentle with me, and thank you for forgiving me. Therefore, I thought I was going to be able to rest the rest of the night until it got to the healing part. And I was sound asleep, and they asked me if I wanted to be healed. I said, yes, just like
Yes.
yeah. I don't know what it is, but let's. I sat there, and I remember feeling so groggy, sitting in the stool, and I just felt the presence, a strong presence, and it just kept waking me up, and I can feel the energy just being released out of me. And I got to the point where I don't know. I was still trying to figure out whether it was my seventh, eighth, or ninth chakra. I don't know, but I felt this white energy just come through my head, and I just reached for the stars, and then that's where I was. I was in the universe floating, and I was with God,
Yes.
and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I knew it. I knew it right then and there, and I immediately I sent love to my mother. I sent love to my wife, Valentina. And I knew they felt it. I knew they felt it. And then I realized, what am I doing? I just opened up and just shot a freaking ray 360 and said, give my love to everybody. Everybody. And I saw it just shoot out to the universe and just go into infinity.
Mm-hmm.
I collapsed.
That
I collapsed right there.
That is what do I want to say about that? That's what we're here to do, right? When you say, what's my purpose? To be this or to do that or to make this difference, but to be an opening for love, to be an opening for God, to be that opening for that love and peace to enter this dimension, and we're the portal for it. And when we clean up all of our stuff, the stories that we had about this made me this way, and I'm this way because of this, and I'm not forgiving, and I'm closed, and all of that, once we clear that up, then we actually, that energy flowing through you, it's coming into you, and you're become a center for the expression of the love of God in this dimension.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking about God, I'm not talking about a man in the sky. I'm not talking about Santa Claus. I'm not talking about some human projection. I'm talking about this presence, right? This consciousness, this energy that you felt. Energy, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But when you said that, I just well, I want to send it to this person. I'm sending it to everybody, right? That is a cosmic celebration, as Reverend Michael talks about. That's what really makes a difference on the planet, is when we can be the consciousness of love, to be an opening for that.
And that's the power I felt. Mm-hmm. That's the power I felt when I told myself, what are you doing? Let it go. And I did. And I saw that I was able to, and I did. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I spent this morning sketching that vision. in my butcher.
So you're an artist as well.
I try to be,
Yeah.
but it was just whatever comes to my mind. That's what it comes out. And after I finish the sketch, I'm like, perfect.
So good. So
Mm.
good. My brother, you had such a beautiful week, and it's just so nice to like be here with you. Your energy, so peaceful, so loving, so open, so kind. Um, anything that you want to say? Anything else that you want to say? With me about your week, to anybody that's listening, or
Oh.
anything.
To my brothers and sisters, the 445, love you all. Oh my God, the feminine strength really, really was incredible, and just seeing the transformation from. I remember looking at everyone. Are they in my group? Are they in my group? Yeah, it's all one group, and you see the before and after. Todd told us, "Hey, you're gonna, when people leave, when you first came, you saw people leaving. You saw their faces, and like, yeah, all right, sure, okay." I'm testament that is definitely true.
Right?
Yeah.
We do that. We do a before and after. We encourage people to take a picture before and after. Like, you change.
Mm-hmm.
But what you said when you said group 445, for those of you who don't know, we, from group one, the first week that we did, so this is 445 weeks, groups rather, that have come to Rythmia. And so that's your group.
Yeah.
But the other cool thing is, when you came here, did you feel that connected to everybody?
No,
right?
I was like, I'm coming here for me. This is what this is what I do for myself to move to my next level, my journey. Never thinking I was going to be at this point in my heart.
To like fall in love with all these people.
Yeah.
But that's the thing
Their family.
Yeah.
Their family.
Because another part of this experience is you come here and it's lifelong relationships that you make with these people because you've been through a life-changing experience together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I see it all the time. People are still connected years later with people in their group.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful, man. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
Like I said, I didn't know what I was getting into, but this is great.
I love it.
Let's do it.
That's a lesson for life, right? Just remember the movie Yes Man?
Yeah.
Right? That was, he just said yes. And when you say yes, the universe keeps stuff coming, goodness coming to you. So keep saying yes, brother. It's a good remembrance for me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Oh. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
And thank you all so much for joining us. Hope to see you at Rythmia soon. Have a blessed rest of